Looking at the 1 year in office of the Tinubu administration, the renewed hope agenda is impact on the lives of Nigerians, its impact on the livelihood of Nigerians, millions, hundreds of millions of them over the past 1 year, as the administration continues to double down on its efforts to bring to reality some of these campaign promises that it has made in the build-up to the 2023 elections and since taking over government. Well, we have not replaced, but have another panelist joining us on the program to help add value to the conversation and also give it a feminine touch that is well needed, because there was a lot of male energy throughout the start of the show.
We needed to tone down.
Yeah, you can agree that
and tone down in a different way anyway.
We do need that. Mrs. Dorothy Akenova is joining us on the program. She's a political analyst and the SDP presidential aspirant in the 2023 general elections. Yeah. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
It's good to see you as always. All right.
Thank you.
Automatically, the whole mood has changed. Even Mr. Emmanuel Asemeka has already turned down his energy.
Well, I just hope that the energy will be sustained because we want Nigeria to
Right, exactly. Yeah. The passion is well appreciated, by the way. Give us your assessment of where we are right now as a country, as a people, under the leadership of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Especially as somebody who has aspired to that office.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that coming from the community level, which people normally call as grassroots level, people are groaning, people are crying, people are in pain. I look at it and I say, well, he did promise us that he will make very big, difficult decisions, and that we're going to make plenty sacrifices, and it's going to be painful. So in that regard, he has succeeded. We have done our bit. Now we are seeing 12 months down the line, and the question is, have we gone around the curve? Are we now expecting to enter prosperity as we move into the second year of his tenure? Do we have a well-articulated strategic plan with targets and benchmarks that enable us see what we have been through and where we are going to, and exactly at what point we are in that journey, and would want to see that made public and broken down in very simple language so that everybody can relate with what they're saying. And if there are challenges that they can't deal with, then we need to also hear. I also think that not having filled the vacancies for the parastatals and agencies and the ambassadorial positions that are still left, those are avenues for impact, but those have not been filled. I don't know if we've done up to 30% of those appointments. That's a big gap. How do we expect a turnaround in the economy if more than 70% of the parastatals and the ambassadorial positions are vacant? They all have their role to play, and they all have their contributions to make in waking up the economy and putting us in the right trajectory, carrying along people at the grassroots level, to make us understand what is happening. They are closer to the people in the agencies than the presidency and the ministers, because those are policy-making machines, are spaces. How do we make it trickle down to people so that people can feel? And that is where we are at now. We wish that some of our tears will be cleaned off by the time we enter the second year.
We truly wish. Before we come back to Asemeka, we were just wondering, you've talked about not filling up the spaces that should then galvanize impact, even at the level that has been filled up at the ministerial level. Do you get a sense that these people understand the whole concept of the renewed hope agenda?
No, my problem is they thought it was business as usual. Come, improve your CV, get the paraphernalia, and make some money, you and your cronies. And so it's a huge shock for them to realize that they are going to be writing exams in a way. So it was too early to have seen all the celebrations we saw when they were appointed, because the delivery of output was not the primary thing. Otherwise, why jubilate when you have immense responsibility like that? and you've not even done the one in the office.
Right.
So I have a feeling that they didn't have a clue, most of them, about what the government, the vision was generally in terms of delivery, and then the fact that they were coming to do serious work and they had to have expertise in the areas that
some have said over the years that as far as our political leadership is concerned in this country, there seems to be this continuous feeling of people at the top, people at the governance level being out of touch with the reality of average Nigerians. And it's as if we're living in the same in the same book but on different pages, different chapters, even two different realities from what we're going through and what they think supposedly is happening in the country. But just a quick reminder to our viewers that you can chime in, join the conversation if you can, because we would love to also hear what you think about the performance of the Tinubu administration over the past 1 year. The numbers are shown on your TV screen. I'm aware that we've missed some of your calls. Please keep them coming in. Keep your comments short and simple, and also do not forget to tell us where you're calling from and what you have to say about this one. Like I did say, if you have something to add regarding the performance of your governor at the state level, you can also put that in to your assessment. You were just about to ask a question earlier.
Well, is it really a question? I think it's an opportunity for us to also, drill down at what's happening at the state level. Remember, 50% of the incomes of this country go to the subnational, so it's important that 50% of our expectations are being managed at the subnational level, and we also get to take a peep at what happened. I mean, in the last 1 year, as a media person, with the amount of information I deal with daily, there are states that just never cross my table. And sometimes I wonder whether they are on the map at all. And maybe some of these calls will help us get a sense into what's happening in the state. I understand we have our first caller. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, good morning, sir. My name is Chuks. I'm calling from Rivers State.
Chuks from Rivers. It's always good to hear from you, Chuks. Good morning. How's Rivers this morning?
We are fine today, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you please go ahead and give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I just have advice for the government. They are just beating about the bush. The best thing for Tinubu to do is to go and fix all the refineries and start to work. If you got former CNG buses, what will happen to the filling stations? You see, the government doesn't think. They use leg to think. They thought that once they're there, that we are the masses and fools. They should go and put the refineries in order. Period. There's nothing they can do. No magic, no IMF, no anything at all they will do without putting the refinery with stopping protection of fuel. For over 34 years, Nigeria has been importing fuel. It's a taboo. Upon as Iran and Iraq have the stubborn that stay refining their products, but it's only Nigeria or Earth that is buying fuel outside the country, and that's what is putting us into this mess. There's no miracle they will do without putting the refineries in order. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Chuks. I appreciate it for this
he goes straight to the point. It's
popular opinion, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, he thinks all of our major problem, as it were, in the last 1 year is a function that has continued to fluctuate. You are in the development space. You deal directly with these people and you understand what's happening at that level where she describes as give us a sense of how much this has messed up the life of people at that level.
Absolutely, Chuks is spot on, because one of the reasons why I said to you that why I began to reel out the ministers that should just go home. I was also going to talk about the Minister of States. I wish he had a substantive minister. I wished he had.
Petroleum?
Yes, petroleum. But what he tried to do, when I saw that he broke them down sector by sector, gas, petroleum, and of course the two of them. Yeah. I thought that with that particularization, or sectoral particularization, that of course the minister would ensure that whatever it was that was making it difficult for the refineries to come on stream from the days of President Buhari, they told us, December. From December they said January, from January to February, February to March. We don't even know where it is now. Now, one of the things I've seen is that, yes, every time we say, our oil and gas, our oil sector is quite opaque, more so NNPC. NNPC is actually the one responsible for the revamping of those refineries, and not necessarily the ministry. Now, I'm not quite sure the nexus between the NNPC and the ministry. vis-a-vis the privatization that has happened or semi-privatization that had taken place, But I believe that the minister should have serious supervisory responsibility with the ability to sanction when necessary, because we've been paying salaries, we've been paying allowances and go to workers in these refineries for many years. So very unproductive sector, yet we're spending money.
And in talking about the ministers, if you can just weigh in, one particular issue stands out, especially among the conversations around Nigeria's age-long enemy, which is corruption. One of his ministers, one who is actually supposed to stand out because of the the mandate that she's given. Anyway, we'll circle back to that one. We have a caller on the line, so let's get back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name, please, and where
Hello,
you're
I'm
calling
Mrs. Grace. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Come again?
I'm Mrs. Grace. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Grace from Kaduna. Good morning, Grace.
And it's good to hear a woman's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a woman.
Yeah, obviously. Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm hearing what's going on the program.
That's right.
Please, I want to say something about the 1 year something of the
Please, go ahead. Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
The way the country is going is not good. What is going on is really bad. We are hungry in this country. Things are difficult. Prices of things are very high. Nothing is moving. Business is dull. No money, no job, nothing. The government should at least create employment, build the refinery, reduce the price of fuel, and have a fixed price for commodities in the market so that we the farmers will survive. This is too much. This is becoming unbearable. Prices of things are way much. You will enter market, you won't buy anything. To even feed now is a problem. I don't understand what is going on. I thought this government came to rescue us, but what is really happening, we don't understand. It seems as if we are thinking the government should speak up and do something about it. This is too much, please.
Thank you
very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Grace. We understand and appreciate that sentiment and that frustration also, which is laced with hope, which incidentally is what the administration is tagging its agenda, trying to renew it.
She said two things that struck with me. We are hungry, and I think everybody can relate to that. She also said, I thought they came to rescue us. In other words, we were in a pretty bad situation already before they came. And you are a mother, you're listening to that, speaking from a mother's perspective. How much does that reflect our reality?
Well, 100%. That is how much it reflects, because everyone who has entered the market knows. I was stunned when I went to the market to get atarugu, as we call it. Those days, if you wanted 5 naira atarugu, the man would just put his hand and fetch and just give you like arigo. Recently, it was a quarrel about why are you counting the tarugu? It was 3 for 100 naira. And the man was very specific. Don't add more. That's how bad things are. Ordinary tarugu. Then you can imagine what is happening. At this point in time, mudu of rice, mudu of corn, mudu of everything is jumping and jumping and jumping.
Yeah, and you know, to the issue around palliatives, because the government, you know, wanted to use that intervention to cushion the effect. They talked about the grains, the 40,000 plus metric tons of grains that, you know, appear to be elusive. But also the intervention, since the removal of fuel subsidy is supposed to be spearheaded by the humanitarian minister, has you know, gone up in smoke since her suspension. But I understand we also have KB. I don't know. The calls keep coming in right before we get to the point on that question. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Abubakar, calling from Niger State.
Abubakar from Niger State.
Abubakar, can you kindly turn down the volume of your TV set so we could have a seamless conversation? You don't have to hear yourself. Okay. You could just speak to the phone. And please go ahead and make your point.
My contribution. Hello.
Yes, turn down the volume of your TV set so you don't have that interfering with your thoughts.
Hello.
Please go ahead. Abubakar.
Hello.
I think we can. I think we can just move on to the next caller. When the connection is much better, we can circle back to our next caller. But on the Better Edu situation, what do you think of the management of this issue? Because most Nigerians are less than satisfied with the handling of it. I mean, it's one thing to suspend her, but we still don't know the truth of the matter, whether she's guilty of what she's been accused of or not, as well as the other people that are attached to this development.
I think that what is lacking that I hope would happen in this regime was improved communication. We are not, it's not just the better matter, it's the whole administration. What are you doing? Let us know. Speak to us. Somebody said they think we are dumb. We are not dumb. We have the capacity to listen, to analyze, and to provide solutions.
Absolutely.
Just for a moment there, Mrs. Dorothy, we have Ade joining us from London, one of our frequent callers, wanting to chime in. Ade, it's always good to hear from you. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Ade.
Yes. My name is Ade from London.
Go ahead.
My advice to the government is this. I understand that people complain about petrol. Petrol is not really our problem. Our problem is the foundation, corruption. You see, I am praying for Nigeria that the media in Nigeria will be like media in UK. In United Kingdom, the politicians here, they fear media than they fear God. Because they teleguide their life and they can really bring them down. For any slightest, even if it's £10, a member of parliament take, maybe you buy food for maybe McDonald's and they discover, they will bring it out, that will bring demand down. So they fear the media here. So after, if they say this is going to win, that is going to win. But in Nigeria, the media are trying, but at the same time they are afraid. So corruption, they should do investigative journalism and expose those people. And those who have been corrupted, found, the money should be taken from them and taking care of the needy of the people, poorest of the poor and the elderly. They should make palliative, permanent palliative. In UK, once you are 60 years old, they give you a pass. They call it freedom pass. Anywhere in London you can travel, free of charge. Train, bus, tram, free throughout your life. You see, because you have retired, gone to the age of pension, they believe you have worked hard. So that's the palliative. Then those younger who have not got a job, they give them a little stipend. So for them to look for job search. So the government must do something for the common people.
Right.
Petrol is not really, petrol is important, but it's not, that's not our major problem. Our major problem is corruption.
Right.
And this government, they should focus on security. Security is very, very paramount.
Right.
Because that will create fear. Every day what we see in CNN, they kill 160 in Kogi, they kill, that's the only news they carry here on BBC and CNN. They don't say anything good about us.
Right.
So, but I believe with what you are doing, Trust TV, you are the best in Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Thank you so much for that, rating, Ade. As always, good to hear from you. Have a very good day. So we just have a couple of minutes to spare for the first segment of this conversation. But if you can just piggyback off that, because what he's saying also leads to the conversation we're talking about, safety net, social welfare, which that is exactly what the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry is supposed to do.
And we can see how broad the definition of palliatives is out there. Here, when we think palliative, we're thinking of 2 packs of spaghetti, 3 cups of corn.
Right.
You know, it's so limited. Palliative is very broad. Whatever you do to cushion the impact of the policies you've instituted, it's a palliative, and it's very broad, and it should be continued, and it should be monitored properly. Here, I saw some corn that were weevil infested. No animal should even eat that corn. We saw rice that if you washed it, the water that would come out of it, you would start wondering, where was this rice stored before it was brought out? Then when it is time to share, they will limit it to their friends. And there are people who are poor, who are needy, who may not be in the same political party as you are, who are not your family members, and so on and so forth. How do we get to those categories of people? And it's all corruption. And that's what we're talking about.
And very quickly, before we wrap up this segment, he pointed issue of corruption. We can't overemphasize that. It ties to food production, it ties to job creation, it ties to everything. How crucial is that point you made?
I think largely, yes, we have corruption issue in Nigeria. But I disagree with Ade a bit on the issue. Our problem is the price of petroleum. A major problem today is price of petroleum. Yes, there's corruption within that system where we talked about, like I mentioned. You came into office, you saw a 6 trillion subsidy. Mm-hmm. The first question as a president you should ask is, who are we paying this amount? How did we arrive at these numbers? I mean, as country director of an organization, when my team are in the field and they come up with some obnoxious numbers, I question the coordinators across the line. You pitch this person pitches, it goes all the way and people will adjust themselves. Possibly I make a trip to the field. Even when I'm not allowed to go to the field, I make a road trip to the field, surprise visit, and they will be shocked. So there are many things that has to be done. I mean, today, a bag of rice is 80,000. Minimum wage. They are negotiating minimum wage for 60,000 naira. It's shameful. A bag of rice. One tuber of yam is 3,500. I mean, a mudu of gari is 3,500. So the reality is there for everyone to see. It's not enough to wish and say, oh, in the next couple of months we're going to take care of this situation. No, you are not taking care of any situation. We've been going from bad to worse.
Okay.
You know.
Unfortunately,